Irritating. I can hear you the very second.
All night long, winds blow.
Hello, Chloe.
Kids got sweet combo.
Are you on?
Days and weeks
Oh,
unloaded.
All right, let's just get into it. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the Deployed for Detroit School of Leadership and Madness. I'm Steve. Paul's here.
John.
And there's Iggy. Boop, boop, boop. Say hi, Iggy. Live from the Bat Cave, Spider Cave, some kind of cave.
I don't know. This dog is messing with me.
So what's new, buddy? How you been? We've all been. Well, I guess that's the question for everybody. We've all been kind of hiding from one another. Well, that's not the right word, but it's
Hibernating.
Yeah. Either you get seasonal depression, or you're just like, you know what? They've been annoying, and then it's off to the races. So how's everybody's winter go?
Hey, you?
I bought a house.
I know. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, once the plague clears out, we should be good.
Yeah.
We'll have picnics and all that stuff.
Can't get this quite right, but anyway.
Are you filming 1917 right now? You got
Yeah, we're going off the grid.
Oh shit! So yeah, I got that house going. That's kind of fun. It's the thing behind us, as you can see. There's boxes and shit, as you can see. It's a work in progress, but we're gonna get at some point when we pull our heads a little bit further from our asses. We can do a whole how to go buy a house. Because not to be grim, but I'll tell you what, it's a buyer's market out there. Sure shit ain't a seller's market. So it might be the time for you to take advantage of your VA home loan capabilities, pull the trigger on something, and then you don't have to worry about rent. I'm doing it as 100% disabled, TPD, total and permanent. And so you can do it on that budget as well. So it's not something you got to be rich for. Just about anybody can pull this off. So we'll get to that in the future. And then you fellas getting dogs?
I bought a couple houses on the VA loan.
You bought a couple houses on that shit?
Yeah, you get up to like 430,000, something like that. So you can use it multiple times.
Can we use it for business stuff? For business loans?
The VA has programs for that, but I don't know if it's...
Yeah, it's not a home loan.
Yeah, I don't know if
Right,
it's a
right.
home loan, yeah.
It doesn't come from the same, what do you call it?
No.
Okay.
Well, and what a lot of people don't know is, say somebody's PCSing or whatever, you can assume, if you're a veteran and you can get a VA loan, you can assume another person's loan. So there's somebody's in a rough spot and they need to get out of a loan or something, and you want to buy their house because you like it, you can assume their loan. You don't have to.
Yeah, that'd be a thing. I'm sure that's probably more of a Craigslist, or there might even be a website out there specifically for people saying, hey, let's do this,
Yeah.
and transfer ownership of the loan or something. Be
Yeah.
worth looking into. I don't know. We'll have to put that in our notes.
I don't know. That seems like a weird circumstance you'd have to be in, but it's possible.
Yeah, I could definitely see somebody fixing a move being the big one, or if just all of a sudden they don't have the income to make the, whatever their deal was. If they got to do it right away.
Yep.
It's not a bad way to do it. And at least you're not dumping it off to a shithead or somebody.
Right, and the other person will get the same terms you had, so it really worked out for them.
Yeah, so you're usually getting...
You were just renting, so...
Yeah,
But
so
anyway.
it's like a fixed rate, and you're good to go.
So yeah,
Yeah. And
Paul, you're quiet. Why? That's not like you.
Oh, I'm just listening to you guys.
Oh, you're comfortably numb. That's what you are.
oh yeah, Paul's out now, and so he's enjoying some of the freedoms that come with being a Michiganiac.
Well, I'm out of the military. Let's clarify that. You can be out other ways, and that's fine. Out of the military.
Thanks.
He could be out the other way. I don't know.
One episode at a time. We'll just kind of.
When we were drinking one time, I thought he no.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Like, taste my dick. Does this taste like herpes?
Oh, that tastes like. Never mind.
Mm. And right down the rabbit hole we go.
Is there any other destination? I don't think so.
Man, it's stupid. I miss my fucking computer. Now I know what Paul went through with that damn phone on the kitchen table.
Yeah, dude. You're
Wait.
over there taking like Stanley Kubrick angles of shit. You're like, fuck. It's not working. So, what's this dog? But you said the dogs are like super easy to get. You just have to have a note from your doctor saying this feller could use a dog or
Yeah.
fella.
Oh,
I don't know what the lady a feller is. Lady.
who were you asking?
I guess both you, because both you guys are. You
I
got
looked
a
into
dog,
it.
and he's getting it. Well, you got one coming in the mail, like in a wee box or something.
So all,
Water.
all I need is a civilian doctor to sign off on it, and then I don't know what the next step is. They just said once that gets signed off on and it gets approved, then you get the dog. So
Well, shit.
yeah.
The one I was reading says you got to like go to training with them and
Well, I'm sure that's in there too.
do a bunch of stuff, but
That's probably part of Get the Dog that has like an asterisk next to it.
yeah.
They're like, I gotta just give us this note, and then boot camp. Dog boot camp, which is worth it though, because you want to go through that training. Because if you,
Oh yeah.
because it'd be like buying a car and not reading the owner's manual, which many people don't do. But then like 20 years later, you're like, this has a seat warmer. Fuck. Like you want to know all the tricks inside of this dog, so it's worth taking whatever schooling they want.
I was in Georgia at Robbins, and one of the civilians took us out to lunch. And I had I had to rent a car. They gave me a Cadillac DTS with less than 1,000 miles on it. I was like a senior airman.
So that thing's
So-
fucked up.
The guy that was a friend of, Mike Carroll, Chief Carroll. His name was Lenny Anseldua. And he took us to lunch, and we're driving to lunch. He goes, my ass is on fire. And I'm like, why would you even tell me that? He goes, no, the seat's hot. And I go, did you turn on the seat warmers? He goes, cars have seat warmers? He goes, my ass is on fire.
Yeah, those things can be kind of aggressive sometimes if you're not careful. Yeah, I don't want to have too many stories about seat warmers.
Jeez Louise. I love the one in my car.
It sounds nice. I don't know. I'm a warm enough person as is.
Oh,
Like anybody who's ever had the misfortune of sleeping with me, besides the like rolling around and screaming, they're like, you don't need blankets with this fella, because I'm a human just heat radiator.
oh well.
So they wake up sweating. I'm just like, whatever.
No, can't do that.
Yeah, dude.
Can't do that.
I'm a furnace.
One day, and they training at this juncture. Oh, I saw a nice example of boomer versus millennial or whatever the hell they are now.
Was it an actual fight?
Huh?
Was it an actual fight?
Fisticuffs?
Oh
and
no,
shit?
it was on eBay. The
Oh.
fuckers are selling toilet paper for like it's crazy. But so the boomers are writing, how dare you? You're part of the problem, this and that, and then the millennials are like, yeah, these boomers are funny, you get as much money as you can, and I'm like, millennials, you don't understand. He's kind of ripping from you too, and they just don't get it because they don't got to buy it. Their parents do.
True. Well, I mean, the whole thing's fucking asinine. The people panicking and like, yeah, this whole thing's been handled pretty fucking poorly from our side.
Oh yeah.
There's a number of ways it coulda and shoulda have gone, and it just didn't. It took a hard didn't
Yeah.
at those points, and so
Well,
we are where we are. Woo! That's
it was a good
totally
trial run
perfect.
for like if something big ever hits.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad it happened. This happened for this and not
Yeah.
not the big one, Elizabeth.
Well, thank
You know?
God this isn't like a thank God this only does what it does. This is fucked
Right.
up as is, but it could be worse.
Right.
There's diseases out there that'll turn you inside out in a heartbeat. Like, at least we have a chance with this thing. And we're still kind of just tiptoeing around it. You know, there were people, I
Right.
was at Meyer today, which was a little bit, not risky per se, but there were a lot of people taking good precaution, and a lot of people who are just like, whatever. And they're
Yeah, I've
gonna
seen people with the
hate.
masks on and stuff, and the gloves.
Yeah, I just walk around
Yeah.
normal.
What's gonna suck is those 9 people walking around like licking their palms and touching doorknobs who are gonna survive the whole thing. You'd be like, I was fine. I didn't even fucking nothing to me. But then it's like the 90 grandmas they killed that morning doesn't even phase them.
Well, and people are freaking out because of a lockdown, and you know, being in the military, lockdown in the military and lockdown for civilians.
Yeah.
Y'all civilians better shut the fuck up. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
I haven't seen. I've been pretty. Like when I heard they were calling the National Guard out to New York, it was like, here we go, here we go, and then it was just a chill. Like the medical unit was there, and I'm like, oh, this is okay. They're just doing a good thing. Like this could have gone. They could
Yeah.
have gone tanks in the street if they felt like it, but they're trusting us to. I mean, but that's the thing about a democracy is that we always have to take a route that's going to be a little bit harder, because like the easy path will be found by one party, and we don't do things that way. So like we have to make concessions and fucking bog our plan down a little bit. So like we're gonna end up a little bit nose down on this one, but we're gonna get through it. Like it'll be interesting either way. Like we're gonna learn some pretty cool shit through this.
Yeah, and hopefully all countries share what they've learned, like a hot wash. I don't know if they do that, but like,
It
hey,
sounds,
this worked. Hey,
Yeah.
this worked for us. Hey, this worked for us.
because like in lieu of an alien invasion, this seems to be doing a pretty good job of. I mean, the countries that
Well,
were
if you had
already
Trump, we
buddies-
got a alien invasion. Sorry, had to go there.
Yeah. And then I don't know, Russia has been pretty tight about all their shit, but like they're deploying, everybody's making sure everybody's okay. It seems like hostility's been pretty minimal in most places.
Yeah, I think everybody's fighting the good fight and keeping positive.
Yeah, I mean, plus side,
Well,
I'm
like-
not sure how much Purell ISIS has around. So maybe this will cut a swath through those fuckers.
Well, this is the other thing I was thinking is, if the oil price is down, then you buy a fuck ton of it, and then you're like, fuck you, I don't need oil for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how realistic that is, but
Well, the other part of it too is like, as people start to pull money out of oil, they're going to start putting in other stuff. Like this could be a good jumper for moving into alternative energy, especially all these people sitting at home like burning their TV bills. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to try and throw a solar panel on there just to chop $20 off the top of this bill, because I got Netflix due, I got this due, and let's see what a solar panel does. And so you might see more people start to do, while they're holed up in their homes, put some more, wind turbines and all that kind of shit up.
right.
Save some money, Keep it streaming.
Yep.
Do we have any viewers yet? 9. I'm sorry. That was German for no.
Nice. Is that what it says?
Yeah. Do I have the microphone on? I've got the microphone on, so we're good there, I think.
Are we?
Two turns and a microphone.
Does anyone know if we're actually like? Do you remember that episode where we went 45 minutes talking, and I get a text, and it was like, "Hey, no one can hear you." So he starts laughing, and he's like, "Hold on 1 second," and then he clicks it, and then I got another text, and I was like, "Oh, now I can hear you." So we went that whole 45 minutes, an entire episode.
Yeah. And people were hanging on just like, any minute now.
And we looked, I mean, we were talking. You could see us talking, but no one could hear anything. So it was wonderful. I mean, Steve and I had a great talk. But yes, I was like, yeah, we're done for the night. I'm out of here.
I think
These guys, I'm going.
I might have a recorded version with the audio. I'll have to check. I may not, though. But that'd be a fun one to play.
It would. And we can, Steve and I were talking, so we're going to put up the original content because I'm out now. So I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So I'm not affiliated anymore. So we can go ahead and put that stuff back. Yeah.
And then, because I think I already put a disclaimer at the front of it saying, like, whatever. And then, yeah, it should be fine.
I don't care now. Yeah, can't get in trouble for it. So.
Right. Well, I mean, nobody's here. Whatever.
Hey, you're home?
No. With us now.
Oh.
But, so, I don't know. Let's utilize the time, and then maybe that'll be entertaining to somebody. Because the other thing we can consider is, like, I have no problem at this stage not committing to ideas, but just putting ideas out there so we can just investigate them further. So we've talked about in the past the deployment center, the large kind of facility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's still a goal. That's for sure a goal. But in the meantime, it's probably not a good idea to be building a community center, or at least focusing on that portion of it thus far. But the chow hall portion, I think I want to investigate. Establishing a chow hall, see if we can't get, because we are a veteran run nonprofit, maybe that puts us in line for FEMA or state money or something like that.
Well, why don't we go volunteer at a soup kitchen and find out how they run it first before we go, we got all this money, let's go feed some fuckers.
Well, I've already seen how they, I mean, I've been through that process.
Oh, okay.
And because, like, what I'm considering is taking advantage of what, like, most of my training was focused on building kitchens. Kind of, sort of. If you like the prime ribs team, that's like I was either building a morgue or building a kitchen. That was kind of, or building lodging, and that's another thing I'm thinking about as we progress there. But I'm thinking about feeding, and then the other aspect is we've all got effective enough training in. You've got way more training in dealing with like biological kind of shit in the environment.
Oh yeah.
So I don't doubt that with our knowledge set, and then with the veterans we could get a hold of, that we could, as safe as could be, prepare and deploy meals out to people in need and have them ready, and then just have like a rotating menu, and we figure out, is this, it's free if you don't feel like paying, or it's $5, or we come up with that as we go. But I do see a need for people needing meals. I think and as much as like a pantry and filling somebody's pantry with this, that, and the other, if they don't know how to cook themselves, this could be easier, because then they can just go throw this in the microwave at home or throw it in the oven.
What about like in the desert, the grab and goes, when you didn't want to go to the chow hall?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, aerospace dining facility, like
That's
prepackaged stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That they can grab in a pinch. I mean, that's really what we need, is a grab and go.
Yeah, and then I think what I'd like to do too is get a facility that, when conditions are right, we can open it up. Like once they start opening up lobby service again, then we determine like, okay, we can establish a lobby service for customers of need or want or whatever the deal is. And then at that point, we have, through this thing, we'd have to get all the money figured out. That's always the fucking pain of it. But then, we'd have a source of food in the community for people. We'd have meals prepared. We'd have the grab and goes, like you're saying, box lunches. We'd be shitting out
Well,
box
and
lunches.
there's a trend for urban farming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. My daughter's really into that stuff, but
That'd be good to put as an add-on, like
yeah. Well, I
establish.
mean, we could go out to a community and dig it up and plant some stuff,
Yeah, or I mean, we could start sourcing purchases through there. That'd be a
or
good idea.
community those community gardens. What is there? There's a famous one out in California, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's probably a good way to start poking around for sources.
yeah.
Is all the local folks, and yeah, let's keep it Michigan the whole way through. We're a Michigan company,
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can't pull that off. I mean, I don't doubt that we could, and I don't doubt that it wouldn't help people, or And so because the restaurant supply companies are still stocked to the gills, but nobody's coming to the restaurants. Numbers are down. This, that, and the other. But if we got a chow hall going, we can take a lot of that surplus chow, and then we can just ship it out. We can have hot meals through the window, and we can have to-go meals packaged in recipe cards and all that kind of shit. And I mean, if we were serving MREs, I could have. If we had a facility picked out, we could get going in a week. But shit you not, we could do this within.
Well, you could have. I'm thinking like a building. If you had like hot food on one side and cold on the other, like you're saying, that way.
Yeah, dude, aerospace defect, bro.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. And basically do it just like the dining facility in operation too.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, unfortunately, there's going to be some local businesses that might need to hit the shutters. So we scout them out. What facilities got the best deal? I guess the first and foremost of this. Yeah.
Are we just doing Detroit?
No, and that's the thing is we'll start wherever we start.
Because I'm thinking there's not a whole lot of a need in Birmingham for a free kitchen.
Right. And I mean, we've got the Waterford set up. I want to do Pontiac. There's a few kitchens in Pontiac, and that seems to be, and they're kind of at capacity, and so it wouldn't be bad to do Pontiac, and then that way too we could follow my dream of conquering Woodward Avenue. Side project. Because one way or another, we're going to get some tracks down that motherfucker. But in the meantime, we could put a kitchen there. I'd love to buy the old high school and figure out how the fuck we could get a hold of that. At the end, I don't think it was I don't know what it was, but it's at the end of the loop by the police station. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a big old. It's been abandoned forever. We'll have to do a good job squeegeeing the hobo piss.
What about food truck too? I mean, we could have a truck follow with supplies, but cooking out of a food truck.
See, that's part two. I think what we would do is have a central kitchen and then mermite a bunch of shit and then deploy it in trucks out to other locations. So we have the you come to us here, and then we have the we come to you there. And then so maybe we could start deploying meals to old folks' homes or specific, especially if you get some other Chem boys to figure out how do we A to B make sure this food is clean. And then maybe we could start delivering to old folks' homes specifically and here, supplement your poor garbage fucking food because they don't get good food, these old folks. Trust me, I cooked there and their minds were blown when I barely put in effort. When I slept most of the shift, they were like, holy shit, this food is fantastic. Because the previous cooks are just fucking garbage. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of underserved communities who, if we're doing, I mean, I don't care whoever's belly is empty and their wallet's also empty. That's who gets to eat. Like, I want to make sure that happens at least. But, like, we can definitely target with vehicles to those locations and say, hey, you know, Granny's home over here. We can go up to, and we can hit the whole goddamn state. And then hopefully encourage somebody else to steal this idea and deploy it elsewhere.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, if we wanted to go mobile, like the VFW by me, they've got a kitchen, so like they could host like a meal. Like we could have maybe supply the food, and they could cook it or something, or you know, it could be a combination of both.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Sammy! Sam joined us. What's up? Yeah. Like, we could do an MKT kind of thing. We could do a spec kitchen kind of, like, we've got, like, we don't have to do verbatim, go buy it out of DRMO, but we know what like, what the mentality is behind those vehicles and those operating platforms. Like, why does this kitchen need these things? Like, we know how to build these things and how to deploy them. That's all we ever trained on.
Right.
So rather than sending this shit to Iraq, we're just sending it up to the street. So it could be a little bit easier, you know. But it's a matter of, we're going to have to get real good at, you know, lathering up somebody with money. Because, like, in this time period, as much as I wouldn't mind taking donations, I kind of would feel a bit like a demon. Because the $20 you give me now, you might fucking need it.
Yeah, true.
And so I'd rather try and get a hold of some pigs and kind of bleed them. Sorry, pigs, if you're watching this before you invest in our company, but I speak, you get it. I love you. You'll understand when we talk in person, bud. Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe you should clarify. Pig means pretty important guy. You know, that's what that means.
Goddamn straight, buddy.
Or gal. I don't want him. Or non-binary.
Gender of choice. Gender of choice.
Anti-helicopters.
Yeah, dude. Pig.
Paul.
We're reading comments there.
Yeah, I'm trying to read.
Oh, what are they saying?
Dirty stuff. They like your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think this is good. And then you've got your idea. So, like, we'll definitely keep progressing, because it's not, no part of this idea sounds bad. It sounds difficult, and it sounds like we're going to have some things to do in advance, but it doesn't sound like this is dumb. So we'll kind of proceed from there. And then the other thing you were talking, Iggy, was I think would be a good kind of like way to get more people involved in us is you getting ready for that hike, and maybe setting up. And I mean, even if the plague is still going, because I was thinking about your alone time thing. Even if the plague is still going on, we could do a 6-meter distance and just like, oh, we lost our boy. He'll be back in a moment. Watch this. Doodle-doodle-doo. His dog probably pressed the button. We kind of look like a weird painting. I should have worn my bowler. I'd look so rad.
Oh, wow. It's a lot different on the screen.
Yeah, these are just there so the color's different.
Yes.
It kind of mellows out I use them as like light boxes to like mellow out the mood. Like I put that thing over there, because if you do that thing, we look like serial killers.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No, that from when I try to record, it was always lots of light off of this.
Yeah, dude. I don't do any makeup. I'm a no makeup kind of gal. That's how I woke up today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both scruffy and bald.
It's a good look.
That.
This is harder. This hurts more to shave than this. I don't know.
This is painful.
Yeah. And then I've got, my fucking beard grows in sideways on this side.
You see, it grows in 17 different directions in there.
I'd rather have that than, like, because when I grow a beard, it naturally comes out this way. And it just looks, there he is.
Oh.
Hey now.
All right.
And we're back.
What's up, puppers? Okay. The hell were you talking about? Because I lost you.
Live nude dudes. That's what we're gonna do next as a fundraiser. We're just gonna do
Live nude dudes?
We're gonna do a
That's
cam
what we're doing?
show and then just start putting whatever we can in the old beehole. Start raising money, and see what happens. You know, I mean, it's not the cleanest source of
I don't
funding.
see anything that could go wrong. Nothing.
Except
This is
everything.
genius. I don't know who came up with this, but this is genius. It's so simple. How did I not think of this?
You put a light bulb in, and $1 comes out. Hey now, whoa, it's the internet.
Not today, ISIS. Not today. Oh.
Yeah, ISIS looks at our show and goes, not a threat.
Nah, we're good. Dude, we got to do a jackass intro with it, though. You're like, hi, I'm Steve, and this is a M44 hand grenade. Okay. Okay. I forgot the ring. I forgot the ring. So this, you're going to hike the Adirondack or the
Oh, yeah, no.
Appalachian, or-
Pacific Crest Trail.
Is that near the Nile? No.
It's
in the Pacific.
Nile.
It's through California, Oregon, and Washington. It's
Oh.
2,650 miles. You can either go from north to south or from south to north, but I'm going from Mexico all the way up to Canada.
Hey, now you can buy pot the whole way through.
Yep. But you're on a federal trail, so if you get caught,
Just have make sure if you have dog tags on, you don't have silencers. So like any ranger comes by, they just hear that rattling and they go, "Well, we'll give it to them." They usually do.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, dude.
But the hikers say, I mean, because if you go on you got to look at the pictures. If you go on Facebook and it's PCT or PCT 2020, the pictures these people snap are just gorgeous, and it's free if you want to go hike to see this stuff.
Hell
and
yeah.
it'll take me 5 to 6 months
Ooh.
to do the whole trip. I'm figuring about 20 miles a day.
Golly. You're gonna have
Yeah.
thighs of granite.
Yeah, I'm gonna get home and be like, hey.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna split your wife in half.
I walked 2,650 miles to get to you, baby. But
So you're like, just don't look at my feet. They're kind of
Gone.
yeah, they say you'll go through 4 pairs of shoes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 4 pairs of feet or something. I can imagine. I've seen some people where like, well, they don't pack their feet right. They don't wear the 2 pairs of socks, and they don't powder their feet. They just knucklehead up there, and then they
Yeah.
get these blisters where just like sheets of. They might as well be taking off ballet slippers. And you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you
Buddy.
should see the hiking shoes they have now. It's just a sole on the bottom and then minimal to keep it on your foot, you know, and the rest is like webbing and breathable stuff.
Yeah,
But you know, you're starting out in desert if you go the way I go, because it's gonna be, you know, relatively okay the first part in the desert, and then you hit the mountains, you know, and then once you hit the mountains, it's pretty much.
yeah.
But
I think desert would blow and mountains would suck.
I like the desert. I mean, like when I was in Iraq and Kuwait, I don't mind the desert at all. I like it.
My problem with the desert is I get too. Well, it depends on the day. Well, oh shit! Now the drugs I take, because if it gets like any kind of warm, I just sweat or piss all the fluids out of my body. But
Yeah.
So Gabby and I, when her and I were together, stretched back, and so we were staying in Arizona together, and we were like a block and a half from the Phoenix Zoo, and so we're like, let's walk. It's just not that far, and I think we got halfway there before we called a taxi. And we're like, please come get us. And the taxi driver's like, where are you guys coming from? We're like, over there. And he's like, yeah. It's that kind of day. It sucked.
Well, people always ask, what's it like in the desert, or how hot is it? Or I said, anything over 120 pretty much feels the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hottest you guys. I think it got to 147 or 152. I think it was 147 on the flight line when we were there. I think that's what the hottest.
Ooh, fuck that, dude. Them's cooking
Yeah.
temperatures. That is
I
a
know, right?
done. That is some done hamburger right there.
And then Bahrain, I remember Bahrain in the shade. It was like 140 something.
People live there on purpose?
I know, it's stupid.
Maybe that's why they're so grumpy.
There are places.
I
in
have
the
a
US
Jaguar
that are
and a
just as
Lion
bad.
and a Lamborghini, but I live in the worst fucking place on earth.
Well, the thing about Dubai too is it's right on the ocean, so it's always like 118% humidity. So
Right.
You're just walking through a floating ocean above the regular ocean.
It's like, you got all that money. You can live somewhere nice and fly to wherever your oil fields are. Don't be stupid.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing. Because if you go, like, I haven't been to those places, but I've seen a lot of programming on like the workforce and all that, and it's so there's the princes and the sultans, but like the chunk of most of the population these days is like immigrants from India and China and Africa who are
Yeah.
building the place.
Well, that when I was in Kuwait in 2015, that's what the a lot of the food service workers were.
Yeah,
They were, and one guy,
yeah.
I don't think they were supposed to talk to us, but one guy is like, he sends all his money home and he buys stuff in Kuwait and sends it home. And I'm like, he's talking to me and I'm like, dude, that's all dollar store stuff. I could give me their address. I'll send them shit. But, we weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah. Well, and prices for shit were weird. Like when we were in Kyrgyzstan, they wanted like $5,000 for a piece for a washer and a dryer. Just because
Wow.
they were like that big of a commodity. It was cheaper to have them airlifted in a 135 from England. We bought them at like some place in England and had them shipped over.
What's the weirdest thing you saw for sale in the desert? I saw a car stereo at the BX in the desert. The fuck are you going to use a car stereo in the desert for?
You can get a car. You can put it in your tank. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I
I mean, you can put one in Humvee. That's fine if you want to.
Well, there was
blow
this
your mind.
package deal that had like a taser, a pocket knife, some kind of dildo, and then a few knockoff bags. And it was just this guy selling shit on the street, and he was like, "Come on, come here. Here, this is for you guys." Blah, 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 blah. They're like, we don't need this. He's like, "How about?" Oh, and then he also had fake passports. Like, I don't know who this guy was, but he was awesome. We didn't buy any of this shit because we're like, any of this will get us kicked off base the minute we come through the gate. But he was a fun little guy to shop with for a moment. I'm not sure where the fuck he came from. He could have been OSI, just how like ridiculous the items were. Like, it could have been one of our own guys just fucking with us. But like, this guy seemed pretty legit and like honest. He even like tested out one of the things. He's like, see, it works. Gaga.
No, a lot of those guys were honest because but you had to ask. So like the pirated DVDs and CDs,
Oh yeah.
you had to ask if it was a good recording, and they'd tell you yes or no, but they wouldn't tell you if you didn't ask.
Right, you have to be like, coughing? Is there coughing? Coughing.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
And like, oh.
Does somebody get up in the middle and walk across the screen?
I've still got my Russian Batman. I don't know what I can play it on. But I've
Oh, really?
The one with the joke. I don't have like an American DVD copy, but I still have the Russian DVD. It's a bootleg DVD for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's how I bought all the seasons of MASH for like $10.
Yeah, dude.
And then I didn't have little kids at the time, but they had every single movie that Disney made up to that point for like $40. It was insane the amount of movies that were in this pack for $40.
The crazy thing about Kyrgyzstan, like all the bags that were coming over, and like all the like legit name brand stuff, and then the rip-off name brand stuff, And we're like, where the fuck is all this stuff coming from? And they go, see that mountain? We're like, yep. And they go, China. We're like, oh, okie doke.
Nice.
And so they're just humping it over the hill and dishing it out. So we were at like the stop A in the Silk Road, so we got the cheapest deals. It's pretty wild.
That's why I always wanted to travel to Eastern Europe, because a lot of those places that, you know, if you ever went there, they say the shopping's great, everything's cheap.
Yeah. They're
Like-
also super racist, but if you can get over that part, shopping's pretty good.
Racist again too. Everybody's white over there, aren't they?
Yeah, precisely. So if you don't
Oh,
blend
okay.
in, warning to our buddies: if you're darker than us and heading to Budapest, stay in
what is-
town. Stay in the metropolitan zone. They're cool with it. It's like any place. You know, you can go to like Huntsville, Alabama, but like there's just a neighborhood in Alabama you might want to not go to. Same
Right.
as Budapest and every other place. And they got their hicks. Every place in the world's got their hicks. They just call them something else.
Yeah.
Well, boys. So this trail thing, let's play with this idea. What can we do with it? Because you want
Well,
to recognize
I
some
want-
alone
I
time.
want part of the trip, and I'm gonna have to figure out by section, because I'm gonna want alone time.
Bisexual.
But like if people come out, I'm figuring they'll come out for like a weekend hike,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Well, what if you get some like Forrest Gump followers?
well, one, it's for permits. Anybody can go on the trail,
Mm-hmm.
but you're supposed to get permits if you want to be all legal, like for
Oh,
different sections in different areas.
yeah.
And then you're required to have like certain parts. You're supposed to have these bear cans to put your food in.
Okay.
It's a law. Now, there's not really anybody out there to enforce it, but from what I'm noticing for these hikers, they are really great on sticking to the rules, and green is great. You know, like somebody wrote I saw it on Facebook, just wrote blah blah was here on a fence post, you know, in marker, and everybody was pissed off, you know. So
Good.
they're like, leave no trace. And I like people like that. So, but yeah, I have to figure out what sections would be cool for people and what wouldn't. And, you know, if they can handle 20 miles in a day, if not, then we'll do 10 or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that
But-
sounds like a lot of like we'll get there as we go. Do you have an idea what kind of training you're gonna do while we're in the quarantine period and like running up to? Well, you said 2022, so you got time, but like,
But yeah, I'm thinking April 2022. Well, just because I'm fat right now and lazy,
right?
but I want to get my meds figured out before I go, so I don't want to try to do things too quick and set it up for next April.
Right.
So I feel pressured.
Yeah.
So-
that always kind of backfires.
Yeah. So push it out one more year, and then if people are interested and they want to come, cool. If not, you know, and then I'm gonna have a tracking device, and then it's from satellite, and then I can text on it. Now, some places I'll have reception for phone and things like that, but a lot of places I won't. But I'll just be texting whoever on it. It's kind of like a satellite cell phone. Well, it doesn't make calls, but you can text, and you guys can read them off or whatever. You know, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm going to take some amazing pictures. I mean, that's the whole reason. A lot of the reason I want to go.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, just look up Pacific Crest Trail, and I mean, I think it's honestly an honor and a privilege to go on that if I can do it, because
Yeah.
they're saying it costs between $4,000 and $8,000 to do that trip.
Maybe next year
So-
as a practice we do the what's that Michigan trail? There's one that goes this way and there's one that goes that way. There's an up down trail and there's a left right trail.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's one that goes like through Jackson
Well-
and I don't know. We can,
Oh, does it follow like the old train tracks?
I can't remember.
If that's the trail, yeah, those go a long way. They deleted the train tracks, and it's like a nature walk thing or whatever now.
There's that. Yeah, I mean we could do a couple. And then
Yeah, there's Appalachian Trail too. That's a little shorter than the PCT, but not much. But that one's got like a lot of stops, little towns you can go to where the PCT doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You
A
know,
lot
so
more wildery.
yeah, like some people on the Pacific Crest Trail, they'll mail packages ahead to points for food or resupply or things like that.
That makes sense.
So, but some are like, you know, you don't really need to. You can buy stuff on the way. So I'm just thinking if I have a couple grand in my pocket and hidden somewhere, and you know, the gear's going to cost me probably $2,000 or more, just because everything has to be as lightweight as possible.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of reading, and you're only supposed to, if for what they call it through hiking, 10% of your body weight.
Yeah. Any more than that, that's a lot of
Right.
stress.
If it's like a weekend hike or something like that, they say you can do 20%. But for what I want to do, they say, 10%.
My parents had that
Right now,
same
it's not.
creepy picture in behind your shoulder.
What is it?
That same creepy picture behind your shoulder of the like kissing thing.
Yeah.
Did Avon sell that or something? My mom had that. Did you
My
get that
grandma
from your
had that
mom?
too.
Dude,
I got that from my mom too.
is that like a sign we're in the Matrix or some shit? That's fucked up. Why did we all have that picture? Write in if you've
not
also
that
had
one.
that picture of people kissing.
That
but-
one.
This one's pretty popular too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. I for sure.
Oh,
had
that's
that.
the one.
Yeah, I had that one in my house.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that looks like my wife when she was young.
Yeah,
and
going.
that was-
I'm all set, please.
I married a good-looking woman.
I'm just gonna sign up for this.
I'm above my station, that's for sure.
Sam, so we've got we use Hangouts. So for the next thing, we'll get you set up because then I don't know how that. Well, the problem I got to figure out is cameras and screens and all that, and get you on there. But we're for sure gonna get you. See, Sam didn't have the pic, so I guess we can't have you on. You have to have that picture to be on. It's a bummer.
What do you want me to leave and she can come on?
No, I have to press a whole bunch of buttons and shit, and we'd get through that, and I don't know. I'd have to take a break. Did you wanna? Because I'm almost thinking like, what time is it? How long have we been at this nonsense? In particular, this evening.
I don't know, man.
We've been at it for a while, so I think let's cut it short because we're not going anywhere, but we've gone a few interesting places with it. So we've got a few interesting stories to tell. So in the future, we're going to be talking about buying a house because we've all bought houses. We'll talk about getting dogs because we ought to get some dogs.
I got a dog.
I know.
Best thing I ever did.
We'll talk about going hiking and getting ready for a hike. We'll talk about getting Sam on here and see what the fuck she wants to talk about because that'll probably be awesome too. And then we'll talk about
I
this
had learned-
soup kitchen business.
Yeah.
So we got quite a bit to talk about, folks.
We do.
So we better get ourselves organized. What has this been? 49 minutes? 50 minutes? Plenty of time. Well, on behalf of me, Chief Chatterbox, I appreciate you guys hanging with us, boys.
Hey, it's been real.
Alrighty, Paul.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. I will be more talkative. I'm still snapping back in, so
Yeah, snapping a few things.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for this evening. Please check out our website. It's currently terrible. Terrible is the wrong word. It's currently not good. It could use some work, so if you feel like you could help us with that, that would be awesome. But go to deployedfromdetroit.com, www.whathave-you. You know how that works. You can email the show if you have questions or something you want to contribute. If you have an idea, you want to get in on the mission, you want to get in on something, it's going to be dfd.slm@deployedfromdetroit.com. We have a phone number, but I want to make sure that's still working before I give that out, so we'll get on there. I want to thank Sam for keeping the chat lively while we're having our discussion here. Anything else pressing before we call our quits, folks?
No, when are we getting on next?
I don't know. You want to do Sunday? How you guys feel about Sunday? Just jumping in.
I have so much to do. Fine. That's fine.
Such a whiner.
Whiner. Do I have anything Sunday? I don't think I do.
I'm good. So,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, maybe we'll do like a movie night or something, or we'll just putz around some more on. We'll come up with some good content. We appreciate you all. Oh, we'll have Sam on. Fucking A. We'll get Sam on Sunday. Can you do Sunday, Sam? No? Are you saying no? God damn it, Sam. Well, we'll do something Sunday anyway, and we'll get you next Wednesday. Oh, no problem.
If she's doing what?
Thought she was saying no, but it turned out no problem.
Oh. Excellent, Smithers.
Blowing that chat up.
So yeah, we'll have a crazy 4-way, get super rad, and we'll have a good time Sunday. A funny movie. That's a good call.
Funny movie.
We haven't done fun. We've been pretty much bummers with our movie selections.
I mean,
Dude,
They're all good.
my funny movie is Step Brothers. I love Step Brothers.
everyone loves Step Brothers.
Stripes is a good one in that kind of. Step Brothers is
Right out of left field with that one.
dude. Stripes, that's so good. That's the fact check.
Yeah. That's the fact check.
We could do Rocky Horror Picture Show and get all dressed up.
No, man. I will not. Yes, I will. I'm definitely going to do that.
Ba ba da ba ba.
I'm not falling for that again.
You sit there with lipstick and pasties like, you motherfuckers.
All I'm saying is I'm a sweet transvestite.
Dude, that's been my favorite movie since I was 9.
What?
Well, at Lakeside
Really?
Mall, they used
Yeah.
to act it out. My buddy was he worked there. We used to watch. I used to watch all the freaks from up in the projector booth.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's
Good people.
They had fun.
Very hurtful
I would
word.
say freak. I wanted to join a few times. That looked fun.
All right, gang. So we love the fuck out of you. Thanks for joining us while we're live. Thanks for catching up with us. If you're new or catching up or whatever the deal is, please do us a favor if you could. Like, subscribe, and all that. And more importantly, let other people know that you've enjoyed watching our stuff. Share stuff. Share an episode. We're going to do our best to try and cut up some clips and get it a little bit easier to digest. But our numbers have been pretty low for a while. It's a little bit our own doing. But if you guys could be our street team and start pimping us to your buddies, that'd be great, because we've got some missions we'd like to get done, and we kind of need your help. So thanks so much for that. All right, gang. Shall we call it? Let's
All right.
Yep, Sunday. All right, we'll see you guys
Adios.
Sunday.
We'll see y'all Sunday. Sunday.